Once upon a time, there was truth in journalism, where brave men and women gave voice to the voiceless. But then the corporations bought the journalist, poisoning the news that we are fed. With those tainted sources, all we ever ate was a steady diet of status quo. This hijacked narrative hid the truth of mass suffering, injustice, and corruption throughout our land. Status quo, status quo, status quo, status quo. To expose this shift to oligarchy came a band of honest journalists. They left the studio and hit the streets to give the microphone back to the people. From sea to sea, the people were empowered to share their truth. Their voices no longer stifled, reclaimed their power. Join the media revolution now.
Hey there, Jordan Chariton, live from New York. Status Quo in the house. Hope everyone's having a lovely day as I make room here. Quite the day. And full disclosure, as I like to be as transparent as humanly possible. With my fine audience. 300 of you watching at the moment. I am waiting for my doctor to finish this mouth guard they're making me for sleep apnea because I've been super tired. I don't have it yet, so I'm very tired. Secondly, at the same time that I'm waiting for this mouth guard that's supposed to open my airway and stop the sleep apnea, at the same time that I'm waiting for that, I am weaning myself off of a sleep medication that I've taken for many years. I cut down from 150 milligrams down to 100 milligrams, and now I'm cutting down to 50 milligrams. Well, last night was the first night that I cut down to 50 milligrams, and needless to say, it did not go so well. I woke up 3 times. So I might stutter like Joe Biden today. I might have a few gaffes, because I'm really running on like 3 hours of sleep. But should be fun, right? Stick with me. Through it all. So, you know the drill. We have 350 people watching already, but only 183 of you have pressed that like button. So I need every single one of you to press the like button right under the video. Thumbs up right under the video. The more people that press that thumbs up, the more people that will see this very live stream. Super important. Let's keep getting these numbers up. For whatever reason, that's how YouTube's fakakta algorithm works. The more people that press the like button, the more people that will see the live stream. Consider becoming a member to Status Quo. We are now at 716 fine paying members to Status Quo. You can become a member for as low as $5 a month. Here it is, folks. $5 a month, $10 a month, $179 annually, whichever option works best for you. And this coming Thursday, we have our members call. Oh, that's not what I want. Yes, this coming Thursday, we have our members call. This Thursday, 7:30 Eastern time, as I fix that, 7:30 Eastern time, October 24th, just for members. So if you're a member, you'll get the link. Jen and I will do our video call with you every month. We have a good time. We do questions, comments, concerns. We laugh, we cry. It's very TMI. Ooh, I should save that. So sign up to be a member today if you want to join for Thursday. Now, also I want to say thank you. Before we even started this live stream, we got some GoFundMe donations. Thank you, Seth. $80. Thank you so much for that amazing donation. Gary, $10. Matthew, $10. So we are now just $469 away from $79,000 raised. And then when we hit that $79,000, $6,000 till we meet the goal. This is all very exciting. I'm trying to contain my excitement. Pitch in if you can. I can't do the math, but if all 450 of you watching right now each pitched in like $5 to the GoFundMe, I'm not good at math, but I'm pretty sure that would get us, I think, to $80,000. I think that would get us to $80,000 if every single person donated $5 today. And as a reminder, that GoFundMe is donations towards this. Oops. Hold on. Not what I wanted.
Brand new reaction coming in from Rudy Giuliani.
And right now, President Trump's former top advisor on Russia.
More breaking news tonight on Rudy Giuliani.
Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani is under criminal investigation.
President Trump is not going to cooperate.
The latest on impeachment.
Impeachment investigation.
President Trump.
President Trump, President Trump.
President Trump.
President Trump.
President Trump's
Educational issues with the children that have been poisoned. We're at one of the encampments that homeless people are living at.
It's really discouraging to notice these similarities where you have the administration going, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your water, but here, take these filters.
Are you on Social Security?
I am, but I work a full-time business.
No, I know, but you're aware Social Security is a socialist program.
Well, that's beside the point.
Love that new short promo video we have, thanks to Joseph, our new cameraman. So, Elizabeth Warren has a plan for everything but the number one issue to Democratic primary voters. As we have seen, and I've reported on, listen, I don't think she's as bad as Hillary Clinton. I don't think she's Joe Biden. I don't think she's Kamala Harris. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend she's Bernie Sanders, because she's not. So Elizabeth Warren, we know, has been very, very slippery on Medicare for All, which has majority support, not only among Democrats, but in recent polls, Republicans support Medicare for All in majority support. So in the last two debates, for whatever reason, I could speculate on the reason, Elizabeth Warren just won't state the obvious. Yeah, we're going to raise taxes a little bit like every other country does. And for those increase in taxes, you're going to be saving overall a lot of money because your premiums are going to go away, your copays, your deductibles, all that. She won't just plainly state that like Bernie Sanders will. And I have said that she will not do that because she doesn't really champion in her heart. She does not champion Medicare for All. She is basically saying what she thinks she needs to say to win the nomination, and then wants to give herself some room to, what do they call that? Triangulate. Sprint back to the middle, to the center, really the right, if you ask me. So in a leaked audio, this was Elizabeth Warren meeting with a union. Apparently, she is, shall we say, not concrete. Let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren when she met with union workers from the International Longshore and Warehouse Union. Here we go.
A little more open textured about this one. The way I see it is we need to know what the goal is. And the goal has got to be that we've got to be in a place where we get coverage for everybody at the lowest possible cost. And the numbers are just clear on it. That's Medicare for All. The Republicans put together a study to show how expensive Medicare for All was going to be. They really wanted to show us, and it turned out it was cheaper than any alternative that anybody could come up with, because you cut out all the crazy billing, you cut out all of the fighting with the insurance companies, and you cut out the $23 billion in profits that the insurance companies sucked out of the system just last year alone. And that doesn't even count what they spent on CEOs' salaries. Remember, their basic business model, take in as much as you can in premiums and pay out as little as you can in health care coverage. Saying no is how they make money. So this is not sustainable over a long period. So we got to figure out, that's where we're headed. Now, how do we get there? And for me, I think of it the way I think of trade. And that is, it matters who's at the table. I want to make sure that the folks who are at the table are folks who don't have health care coverage. I want to make sure they're there. But also folks who do have health care coverage, I want to make sure the unions are there. And I know not all the unions are in the same place on this, because they have members that they're in different places on health care. This is going to be a process that is fundamentally about respecting the fact that we got to work together on this. For those for whom it is already part of their compensation package, then we got to think about adjustments in the law that make sure, not just that out of the goodness of their hearts, that some employers will make up the difference, but that that's part of the legal structure. For people who don't have any coverage, we got to make sure that they're represented about how fast we can get them into the system. So when I hear people say, well, we'll do 55, 50, 45, well, that's great if you have health insurance. We got to find a way to get people into Medicare for all as quickly as we can. So it's not that I have a plan that says we're going to do this part, and then we're going to do this part, and then we're going to do this part. No, instead, my plan is we're going to get to a table like this. We're going to make sure everybody gets represented. We're going to understand the urgency of the moment to get this solved for people who aren't covered, and get ourselves on a path where everybody can get there and everybody can get covered at the lowest possible cost. That's what Medicare for All is all about.
Well, that explains it. That explains it, folks. I don't think I could get a copyright violation for singing a song. So Elizabeth Warren's plan for Medicare for All is Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh my Lord, Kumbaya. I mean, I know that I'm going to be attacked. Jordan, you're being unfair. She says she's for Medicare for all. Well, last time I checked, then candidate Barack Obama said he was for single payer as well. Then he said he was for a public option. And then we got a Republican health care plan. Elizabeth Warren, to be clear, the candidate who has been just, frankly, slobbered all over by the media. She's so specific. She's so articulate. She dumbs things down. She dumbs down complicated issues to the point that everybody could understand it. And thank you for the $1.99, Maddie Perry. But she is just as bad as Hillary. I don't agree with that, but Jennifer Miller, $5 in the super chat. Thank you. This person who has a plan for everything. Her plan for Medicare for all, and let me make sure I'm quoting her correctly. So it's not that I have a plan that says we're going to do this part, and then we're going to do this part, and then we're going to do this part. No, instead my plan is we're going to get to a table like this. We're going to make sure that everybody gets represented. We're going to understand the urgency of the moment to get this solved with people who aren't covered, and get ourselves on a path where everybody can get there and everybody can get covered at the lowest possible cost. That's what Medicare for All is all about. So we have, you remember in grade school, you had the lesson, a word is underlined and that's a noun. This is a noun versus this word is a verb. So we have several nouns from Elizabeth Warren. We have a circle. I believe a circle is a noun. We have a pathway. A pathway, that's a noun. Framework, pathway. Is framework a noun? I think so. Circle is a noun too. That's a good one. Thank you, Startmania 50 Nook. Don't know what that means, but I love it. Robbie Asher, $9.99 in the super chat. Keep up the great work, y'all. And remember to press that like button. We are at 800 people watching, but only 400 of you have pressed the like button. So we need every single one of you to press that thumbs up button. Super, super important. So let's call this what it is. And I see people on Twitter defending her. Well, I don't like this headline is misleading. She's not moving away from Medicare for all. I don't want to be a jerk, but I missed a super chat. Jennifer Miller gave a $5 super chat. Here it is. It upsets me that Warren proposal announcement is that it perpetuates the lie that Bernie Sanders' plan doesn't discuss the funding. She's piggybacking on his plan while also denigrating it. I agree. So, oh my God, so many super chats. Balthazar, $2.28, $9.99. Streamlabs doesn't require Windows, by the way. Only the companion app, Streamlabs OBS, is OS dependent. You just click login with YouTube and then authorize. Alternatives work similarly to. Look into it. Thank you very much. But right now, our preference here is actually GoFundMe. So if you want to leave a super chat, that's fine. But they do take 30% of our money. We're trying very, very hard to finish this GoFundMe. We are less than $7,000 away. Almost at the $6,000 mark to go. So we're close to $79,000. I'd love to reach that today. So if everybody could pitch in $5, we'd blow past $79,000. I think we'd blow past $80,000 too, if every single person donated $5 today. And then we'd be very, very close to finishing our GoFundMe. Remember, this is all for in-the-field reporting that MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, frankly, independent outlets are not doing. So what's astonishing for this, to me, is you have the candidate who has been branded, because a lot of politics and a lot of presidential politics, it's all about branding, right? You have a presidential candidate whose branding is, I have a plan for everything. I have a unique plan for how you put on your pants when you get out of bed without injuring your back. I have a plan for everything from, getting the crust off, your bread for your kids who want the crust off in 2 seconds. She's got a plan for everything. But somehow she's managed to go through a primary for, what are we in, almost 10 months without having any plan for the number one voting issue for Democratic primary voters. You look at the midterm elections of 2018. Exit polls show 41% of midterm voters said healthcare was their top issue. You look at polls now, the Democratic primary polls, healthcare keeps popping up in the majority of polls as a more important issue than the economy. So why is it that we're supposed to believe, her calling card is she's got a plan for everything? Nobody asks, well, how is she? Everybody says Bernie Sanders is a fantasy man. Fantasy. None of his plans will ever get through. Nobody says that about Elizabeth Warren. Nobody says that about Elizabeth Warren. Nobody asks how is she going to get her plans through. Nobody asks how will she get her plans through turkey neck Mitch McConnell. It's just taken on faith that she is an otherworldly almighty figure, right? And again, I don't think she's as bad as Hillary Clinton. Some of you disagree with me. I don't think she is personally. But let's call it what it is. She is not firm on Medicare for all. That's what she's saying in that leaked audio. And what she's saying in that leaked audio is not how she phrases it at public debates. It's a lot weaker behind closed doors and a lot, shall I say, flexible. A lot more flexible how she's saying it in front, in private conversations. What does it mean that the first step is getting everyone to the table? The problem is we know who is blocking us. What does that mean, getting everybody to the table? You're going to invite executives at Pfizer? You're going to invite the executives who are price gouging the EpiPen and letting people die and ration insulin? You're going to invite the healthcare money managers? You're going to invite the pharmacy company middlemen? Who are you inviting? I get it. You're going to invite union members to the table. But who else gets to sit at this table? And if it was so easy, if solving healthcare, which Democrats supposedly have been trying to solve for 3 decades, going as far back to Teddy Kennedy, if solving healthcare was as simple as we just need to get everybody to a table and sing Kumbaya, it would have been done a long time ago. She is being intellectually dishonest, because the issue is not getting everybody to a table. And Bernie Sanders has spelled out the issue. He has talked to economists. He has talked to healthcare experts. And he has a bill. Remember, he wrote the damn bill that plainly says, this is what it will cost. This is how we're going to pay for it. He came out before he decided he was running again and said how he's going to pay for it. And he did it in a way that was intellectually honest with you. He said, yes, there's no way to fund healthcare, which is expensive, without the citizens who will benefit from it putting in more through taxes. I wish he would start talking about the private tax you already pay, the premiums, the copays, the deductibles, all that. But putting that aside, he's told you, yes, a major way we're going to pay for this is through a modest tax increase. We're also going to pay for it with taxes on Wall Street speculation, on higher corporate taxes. It's all in his bill if the media bothered to read it. But they don't care what his bill says because they don't want it. Because the media is an arm of Wall Street. And Wall Street doesn't want Medicare for all because they're heavily invested in the health insurance industry, particularly the pharmaceutical industry. Well, honestly, Elizabeth Warren, what she's saying privately to people, I'm paraphrasing, is I'm flexible. In the general election, if I become the nominee, I'm open to a lot of pathways. I'm open to a lot of suggestions, ideas. This is what this means. And this is why she never came out with how you pay for it. Which, by the way, I don't believe in the how you pay for it because it's all BS anyway. I believe in modern monetary theory. Unfortunately, that's not the country we live in. We already have the money to pay for Medicare for all. And frankly, our taxes don't cover the endless war. You think taxes have covered $7 trillion in Iraq and Afghanistan over the last 2 decades? No. They're printing the money for the war. It's all about the money. And they're printing that money so that we could steal other companies' oil, opium, and other minerals. And I'm being very derelict because we've gotten a lot of super chats and I got to read some of them. So work with me here. Balthazar 228. Oh, I read that one already. Thank you for the super chat. Gabriel Akari, 100 SEK. Warren isn't a progressive. She discusses a path to get the uninsured insured first. That isn't Medicare for all single payer. It is the quiet middleman. Regards from Sweden. I love the quiet middleman. I am stealing it. I'll remember to give you credit. Gabriel, regards from Sweden. I love your chocolate. What else do we got? Tiny Jungle, $5. Love your Flint investigations. Please investigate animal agriculture. Your mind will be blown. It's critical. You know, I've heard cries from people to investigate animal agriculture, including factory farming, and it is on our list, but we have to grow our resources because I could only investigate only so much. That's why we want to hire new reporters. That's why I'm asking you, please, 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 sign up today as a Status Quo members. You could sign up as low as $5 to $10 a month. This is how we grow. This is how we're able to hire new reporters and investigate a whole range of new things. And if you sign up today or tomorrow, you will also be invited to our members call, our monthly members call. It's a video call. It's a lot of fun. 7:30 Eastern this Thursday. Jen and I will speak to you, the people, on video, and we'll see you as well. It's not through YouTube, it's through Zoom. So sign up, statusquo.com/join before Thursday night, and you will get a link to that call. It's through Zoom. Now, let me make sure I didn't miss any others. Did I miss you? Derek Johnson, $5 in the super chat. Thank you very much. Anybody else did I miss? Oh, X Morbid, KIX, $5 in the super chat. According to a new national poll, Biden only holds a 2-point lead. Can you give me a minute? I was about to get to that. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I'm about to get to that new national poll. I'm about to get to that. What else do we got here? Mike Sarvis, $5 in the super chat. Warren is a centrist liberal and will bend to the will of the capitalist owner class. Honestly, I agree. I see a lot of similarities here to one then candidate, President Barack Obama, who promised to part the seas, heal the world, and essentially governed like a center-right moderate Republican, if you ask me. And thank you also. We got $10 from Richard, $78,561. Please keep it coming in the GoFundMe. I'd love to hit 79,000 while I'm live. We got $439 to go to hit 79,000. So the other issue with what Elizabeth Warren is doing here is my my problem here is there is no pathway to Medicare for all. When you say the word pathway, a pathway means like a public option. A pathway means like, let's try lowering the age to 55. Do that for a year or two, see how that works, and then we could try, maybe seeing if we could go lower. Pathway is an intermediate, incremental step. So is the term framework. These are all incremental, the slow diet of gradualism. So if the number one issue to voters is healthcare, why would you be offering gradual steps? The only reason I could think of is you have the same consultants that derailed Hillary Clinton's campaign. Well, Hillary Clinton really derailed her own campaign because there was no there. She's just an establishment hack. But the same consultants telling you this is, you can't win on Medicare for all in the general election. The same consultants who said Donald Trump is a disaster. The same consultants who told Hillary Clinton's campaign, hey, you should try that Pied Piper strategy and elevate lunatics like Donald Trump. Elevate them because it will make the Republican Party so toxic, and people like Trump will become so synonymous with the Republican Party, and then you'll easily defeat whoever the nominee is. Remember Hillary Clinton? She's the one who propped up Donald Trump during the Republican primary. How'd that work out? So all of these consultants who are consistently, time after time, wrong and don't know a thing about what the actual American people experience or what the actual American people want. They keep getting in the ears of people like Elizabeth Warren. On a smaller scale, if you remember the midterms, this is exactly what happened with Andrew Gillum in Florida. He ran a progressive primary campaign on Medicare for all. He did an upset in the primary in Florida, winning on Medicare for all. Then all of a sudden, he starts showing up in photos with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, doing events with Hillary Clinton, speaking a lot softer on Medicare for all, and what do you know? He lost. Granted, he didn't lose by a lot. Granted, there was a lot of voter purging, but he lost. I don't think it would have been that close if he would have stayed with Medicare for all and not surrounded himself with all these right-wing Democrats. So, Elizabeth Warren, frankly, I don't trust her. And she is speaking wildly different behind closed doors to these union members who Bernie Sanders has the message for union members. Hey, you want to know how you're going to raise your wages? If you take health care off the negotiating table. If your employers cannot hold that over your union and cannot basically threaten other benefits from you by saying, well, we could give you better health care, but your wages are going to get cut or stay the same, or you're going to have to work longer hours, or we're going to have to trim your pension to give you that better health care. It's not rocket science. And I know union members who aren't so happy with their negotiated health care, but you keep getting this talking point that unions love their health care. Yeah, I don't know about that. And by the way, if you want one example of how wonderful and how, Medicare for all, it just gives you choice. Private insurance, you're taking away people's choices by taking away their private insurance, because private insurance is this amazing, amazing thing that gives people choice. Well, if you believe that, all I have to do is bring you to Washington Post reporter Dave Weigel, who tweets all day, sunrise to sunset. Guy probably tweets 200 tweets a day. Here's Dave Weigel, got an email from his union at the Washington Post. Today, the company announced changes to our health care plan for next year. The news is that the health plan that 2/3 of the Post employees have now, the Aetna Health Fund, is going away, and your reserve health fund monies will not roll over. Wow. In fairness, I don't have the rest of the email, so I don't know if they're getting something better. I don't know if they're getting something similar. I don't know if they're getting something worse. But what I do know is Dave Weigel doesn't have a choice. These other Washington Post workers don't have a choice. They're being told, we're changing your healthcare plan, which happens to millions of people every year. Millions of people every year. So I think Elizabeth Warren, listen, I don't know what plan she could really come up with that's going to cover Medicare for all, yet not raise taxes on anybody. That's just not possible. I don't know like what the smart brainiac she has behind the scenes writing out these plans. I don't really know like where they're getting this money to cover a $30 to $40 trillion plan without raising taxes on you and me. But I gladly pay more taxes. And this is what Bernie Sanders supporters are saying. I gladly pay a little bit more in taxes if it means I'm going to save a lot more in healthcare costs. So, yeah, I don't know. Hey, we just got a new Status Quo member. Thank you very much. Dick? Dick just signed up as a Status Quo member. So we are now at 717 Status Quo members. Keep it coming. Sign up, statusquo.com/join. Become a member today, and you will get invited right before our members call on Thursday. You'll get invited to join our members call. So, which brings me to the recent Emerson poll that just came out today. You know, everything's been doom and gloom. Bernie, you need to drop out. You're too old, blah, blah, blah. You had a heart attack. Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden are essentially tied for first place nationally. Bernie Sanders is up 3 points compared to the last Emerson poll. Elizabeth Warren, I believe, is around the same at 21%. What is really important here, and I also think why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's endorsement matters so much. Here we go. Sanders continues to dominate the age 18 to 29 group with 45% of the vote, followed by Warren at 17%. That's a pretty big gap. Andrew Yang, 15%. As we know, as the voters get older, Sanders sees his support drop. So I think what you're seeing with this AOC endorsement is Bernie's doubling down on the young. I don't want to exclude my older voters who feel the burn. We love you. I'm not saying older people are dumb, but by the data, Bernie overall doesn't do well with older people because more older people are establishment. You might not be, as an older viewer, watching this, but most of your compatriots in your age group are drinking that steady diet of gradualism. So Bernie is saying, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time anymore trying to pick off these older folks who are, buy this BS of the Russian boogeyman and, socialism is communism. I'm going to try and expand the electorate. I'm going to try and bring out even more young people in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, California. And those people generally will not show up on polls because a lot of them never voted before and a lot of them don't show up as likely voters. Thus, they don't get phone calls from polling companies. So I've been saying for a while, there is a bit of I guess you could call it a hidden Bernie Sanders supporter that isn't being polled, and thus it's showing him in some polls in a distant third and fourth place in some polls. And remember, we got over 900 people watching. 656 of you have pressed the like button. Press that like button if you haven't. It's right under the video. The more people that press that like button, the more people that will see the live stream. We want to get this up to 1,000 as quickly as possible. Reeve Barker, $10 in the super chat. I have a meeting tomorrow regarding benefits. Medical coverage has got worse the last 2 years. I have epileptic seizures and continue to pay more for meds. Medicare for all now. Exactly. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, Reeve. It's whether it's epileptic seizures or another health issue, millions of people are dealing with the same thing. They're getting squeezed and are not being able to fund their costs for their health issue. Progressive Game Changer, $5. Where is Warren going to find a table for 350 million people? That's a good one. What else did I miss? Doc BBC, $2. Bernie either won 2016 on Medicare for all or his charm. Did I miss any others? Balthazar. Oh, we already got that one. Jen sent me something. The guy said you missed his super chat. Mark Ryan, status quo. Is HRC entering 2020? Good for Bernie? Oh, God forbid. Don't give, I'm not sleeping already, man. I'm having a problem sleeping in the last few weeks. Don't put that thought in my mind. I can't take much more. There's rumors. There's rumors that she might enter. Let's hope for all of us this will not come to pass. As Hillary Clinton said, Medicare for all will never ever come to pass. Let's hope she stays in the woods. 2 times is enough, Hillary. 2 times is enough. So I want to show you another part of this poll. That is very, very interesting. So Biden leads those who supported Clinton in 2016 with 42%, followed by Warren at 16 and Sanders with 14. That's actually surprising that Sanders is even close with Warren as far as people who supported Clinton. Everybody just assumed Elizabeth Warren was getting most of Hillary Clinton's support. Joe Biden is. And the fact that Bernie even has 14% support among Hillary Clinton's 2016 voters is pretty impressive. Sanders holds a lead among those who supported him in the 2016 primary with 39% support, followed by Warren with 25% and Biden with 12%. I don't know what's more stunning to me, the fact that 25% of Bernie Sanders supporters from 2016 have switched to Elizabeth Warren, or the fact that there is 12% of Bernie Sanders supporters who now support Joe Biden. That is shocking to me. Utterly shocking. So I'm going to tackle the Elizabeth Warren point first, that there are 25% of Bernie Sanders supporters that are that switch to Elizabeth Warren, which, again, I don't understand. 25% of Bernie Sanders supporters from 2016. Real quick, just want to give a little heads up or shout out, shall we say. Trying to do many things at once. We just got some new Status Quo members sign up, so I want to give you a shout out. We got, let's see, welcome to the media revolution. We got Jason Myers. Yes, we have Jason signed up, Terrell signed up, and Dick signed up. So we are now at 719 Status Quo members. Can we get another 10 today? You sign up as a member, you will be invited for this coming Thursday to our members call. It's a monthly video call with Jen and I and all of you. You see my ugly face, I'll see your lovely faces. We'll talk, questions, comments, concerns. It'll be wonderful, and it all goes to funding our in-the-field reporting, unless you would like to leave that in-the-field campaign reporting to CNN and MSNBC. If you'd like to leave it to them, God willing. So, for the 25% of Bernie Sanders supporters from 2016 who are now supporting Elizabeth Warren, here's what I'd like to understand. If you supported Bernie Sanders in 2016, obviously you are somewhat progressive. If you supported Bernie Sanders in 2016, obviously you knew he was an older candidate then. He was still in his mid-70s in 2016. If you supported Bernie Sanders in 2016, one of the big reasons you supported him was Medicare for all. If you supported Bernie Sanders in 2016, one of the big reasons you supported him is he, unlike Hillary Clinton, was not going to be a crazy warmonger. So what I don't understand, and again, I'm not knocking these people as bad or stupid. You know, people have their reasons for doing things. But 25% of you, if Medicare for all was a top issue for you, you've switched over to somebody who has a plan for everything but Medicare for all. You switched over to, if the wars and Bernie Sanders' position against this endless voyeurism around the world, Elizabeth Warren has voted for every single one of Donald Trump's massive defense budgets. I don't get it. I mean, if you supported Bernie Sanders in 2016, I mean, yes, he's 78. Yes, he had a heart attack, but did you just see his debate performance? Did you just see him on stage with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? It just, I don't quite get it. I just don't quite get what would be the reason for you to switch from Bernie Sanders to Elizabeth Warren. I agree, Elizabeth Warren has some positive positions, but part of why you supported Bernie Sanders is you trust him. He's been consistent. You don't have to question whether he's going to fight for the things he's standing for. Do you have that same confidence with Elizabeth Warren? Because 25%, that's a big chunk of Bernie Sanders supporters from 2016 to go to her. Then, for the 12% of Bernie Sanders supporters that moved to Joe Biden? I mean, do you want to drown? Do you want to go down in an epic Titanic crash? I mean, what are you thinking, 12% of you? These people I will call idiots. Joe Biden is not a progressive. Joe Biden is not a Democrat. Joe Biden is a Republican. He's also literally squandering the donations he has on private jets and lavish hotel rooms. So 12% of you, you need to get your head examined. You need to stop voting against your own interest. You need to come back to Bernie. Because if 12% of Bernie supporters that are now stunningly supporting Joe Biden come home, Bernie Sanders would skyrocket to first place in almost every poll. That's a huge chunk of support for Biden. I think you would also see it show up in Iowa and New Hampshire as Bernie going to first if those people that are fleeing to Joe Biden come back. That I don't understand. It's not an age thing because Joe Biden is just as old. And clearly, you could see a difference in cognitive capabilities between Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. So I think that's shocking to me. Truly, truly stunning that many people have gone to Joe Biden. Anyway, all right. Before I move on to the next story, I want to thank, we got another donation, $5 from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Leo, $5. Richard, $10. We're now at $78,571. Super, super excited. Hope we could get to $79,000 today. So for the 900 of you or so watching, if even half of you were able to just drop in $5 to our GoFundMe, we would pass 79,000, and frankly, I think we'd also hit 80,000. Yeah, if 900 people watching each left $5, we would get to $80,000, which brings us literally to the 5-yard line of this GoFundMe, if you want to use a football analogy. We are so close. I would love to stop having to bring up GoFundMe. I would love it. If you're tired of it, trust me, I am too. Let's work together to get enough funding to cover the rest of this campaign and beyond. So I want to bring up a story on the local level that shows it's not just Bernie Sanders who the corporations are going at. It's not just Bernie Sanders who the tech companies are going at. It's not just Bernie Sanders who the establishment is going against. It's progressive leaders like Seattle's Kshama Sawant. Now, you might think this story is not important, but trust me, it is, because it doesn't matter if Bernie Sanders becomes president if there is no support on the ground on the local level. As Bernie Sanders says it, support, and it comes from the bottom up. We need progressive leaders on the city council level all the way up to the White House. So we covered the homeless epidemic brought to you by Amazon in Seattle a couple of months ago, thanks to your GoFundMes, thanks to you guys joining us as members. And we interviewed Kshama Sawant, who right now Amazon is spending $1.4 million. Again, for a city council race, Amazon is pouring in $1.4 million to try and get socialist progressive champion Kshama Sawant kicked out of the Seattle City Council. Long before last year's Democratic Socialist takeover in the Chicago City Council, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez's victory in Congress, and the 2016 Sanders presidential campaign, there was Kshama Sawant. In 2013, the then 40-year-old former software engineer eked out a 1% victory to win a seat on the Seattle City Council, running as a member of the Socialist Alternative, a fledgling socialist political party. She won re-election in 2015 and has held the seat in Seattle's 3rd District downtown ever since. For a time, she may well have been the most notable socialist politician after Sanders in the country. Sawant's election was surprising but not inconceivable. Seattle is renowned for its liberal leanings and its quirkiness, and Sawant's policy agenda aligned broadly with the city's political inclinations. Well, unfortunately, the city is also run by Amazon. It's also home to some of the country's largest corporations like Starbucks, Boeing, Microsoft, and Amazon, all of which have long enjoyed Washington's regressive tax environment. The state has no personal or corporate income tax, while doling out massive tax subsidies to those exact corporations. Some of those companies rallied against Sawant's tax proposals in the past, and now, as she's facing re-election, Amazon has taken an active role in trying to boost her opponent, pledging an unprecedented $1.45 million, including $1 million announced last week, to the Chamber of Commerce's PAC, Civil Alliance for a Sound Economy. The PAC has sought to elevate Sawant's opponent and reconstitute the Seattle City Council along even more business-friendly lines. Amazon's startling donation is the largest contribution to a local election in anyone's memory, per the Seattle Times, and an intervention into politics the likes of which hasn't been attempted by any of Seattle's corporate titans until now. So basically, what you have here, a local socialist, Kshama Sawant, was able to galvanize. They did get the city council to vote on something called the head tax. And that head tax would have charged Amazon workers, Boeing workers, Microsoft workers, big companies like that. It would have charged the companies, not the workers, the companies $250 a head to pay for more affordable housing and to put an end to the rampant, if you live in Seattle, homelessness. And it's not like homelessness where they're all in like one corner of the city. It's homelessness spread out in beautiful, new, gentrified city, little sections of town. There's tent cities with tents all over the place. So it's not just like in some other cities under the bridges or something like that. It's spread out throughout the nice parts of town. And this is why, for those of you who didn't see part of my interview with Kshama Sawant, take a look. This is why they want this socialist champion out of office.
Crux of what we're talking about, and you're right, even since 2009 it has dramatically shifted. Just to give some numbers for your viewers, in Seattle, in the Seattle region, we've seen rents go up by 155% since 1998, so in the last 20 years. It is just stunning. I mean, can you even hold that number in your brain and think of what it could be? And since 2010, in the last 8 years, rents have gone up by 69%. So in other words, what we're seeing is a city that has been the construction crane capital for 3 years running, meaning construction is booming here. There's no shortage of new homes being built, but very little of that is affordable to ordinary people, to even the middle class. And so you see, at the same time that you have double-digit vacancy rates, you see tens of thousands of people getting pushed out, and the city becoming really a playground for the wealthy.
So when they talk about the booming economy, we hear that from Trump. The Democratic Party, for many, many years, they talk about, oh, well, you need to retrain for the jobs of the future. Well, if you have unfettered greed, no rent control, developers basically have the keys to the kingdom, where they could just seize properties. Amazon has essentially, I mean, it's almost like an occupying force in Seattle. You have people that say, oh, they're bringing all these jobs, but jobs for who? I mean, we were downtown yesterday, and it's very striking. You have gentrified areas with bars and restaurants and shopping districts and just sleeping bags, homeless people, and people just walking past them. And I think what's also striking is a lot of the homeless here work. A lot of the homeless work. There's a lot of young homeless and youth homelessness. So can you kind of talk about, there's this notion that Seattle and cities like it are, I think, in many corporate areas, think it's booming, but it doesn't seem to be booming for anyone but the wealthy.
Right, and I think everything you captured in that comment and question really goes to the heart of the way the capitalist system works, which is that you can have a booming economy, and yet that booming economy is going to leave behind the vast majority of people to some measure or another, some worse than the others. And so what you see is a construction boom in Seattle, also a jobs boom in some ways, but it mainly is benefiting a small section of society. And it's not only the billionaires that are benefiting. Obviously, they are taking home the lion's share of the wealth, but you do see tech jobs. And yes, absolutely, we want good quality jobs for ordinary people. We want people to excel in maths and sciences and really explore their talents. The problem, and this is the reason I'm a socialist, is that the problem with capitalism is that jobs get created only as a means, only so far as they are a means for ever expanding the profits for a small section at the top. And who are we talking about? Our enemies are not the workers in the tech sector. Our enemies are Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, billionaires like that. In fact, those three billionaires own more wealth than the entire bottom half of the US population. That's the kind of system we're talking about. And so that system is geared to rewarding people who already have immense amounts of wealth. And so Jeff Bezos gets richer every year while the rest of us get poorer every year. So, what you said about developers having the keys to the kingdom, really, I think that's a metaphor for capitalism itself. Capitalism is a productive system, but the only people who have keys to the kingdom are the sliver at the top, and the rest of us have to struggle. And so, as a socialist, I would like us to imagine a different kind of society where the incredible wealth and resources and everything in our society is harnessed to make sure that everybody has a decent standard of living. And short of socialism, let me talk about something that we can do in the here and now. You talked about rent control. Absolutely, Seattle needs rent control without loopholes, corporate loopholes. What Seattle also needs is a massive expansion of social housing, which is publicly funded, affordable housing that will remain affordable to everybody at all times. But that has to be funded by taxing big businesses like Amazon and Macy's and so on. But what would that actually be? That would be a massive jobs program. So let us not be beholden to this only that you can only have jobs if you allow Jeff Bezos to make profit hand over fist. No, there are many examples of how we can create jobs publicly, unionized living wage jobs, where it also benefits society.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, woo! Kshama Sawant. Listen. I stand by my opening, my long-time statement. My number one for vice president, if Bernie won the nomination, is Nina Turner. I stand by that. But Kshama Sawant is my number two. I think Kshama Sawant would be that wild card like Sarah Palin pick, only with brains, only not racist, and awesome. The only similarity would be a wild card that no one expected. But I love me some Kshama Sawant, and that kind of radical progressivism is exactly why Amazon is pouring in $1.4 million. By the way, just for proportion, most city council races, like, I don't know, a candidate might get $10,000 from or might raise like a couple, tens of thousands, maybe $100,000. They are donating over $1 million basically to the other candidate to try and eliminate Kshama Sawant. This is why Amazon is a nation state. This is why Facebook is a nation state. They are out of control. And that's why, frankly, the one thing that I like of Elizabeth Warren, that Bernie Sanders has not gone this fair, I don't know if she means it, is when she says, I'm going to break up Amazon, Facebook, and Google. We need that, particularly in terms of Google, because Google is the reason Status Quo and other channels like it, independent, anti-war, progressive channels are not prominently shown on platforms like YouTube. Why all our videos are getting demonetized. Why half of the progressive population that goes on YouTube has no idea that Status Quo even exists, because they never see it in their feeds because of Big Brother Google that owns YouTube suppressing the hell out of alternative voices. It's the same concept of why Amazon is trying to suppress the hell, and in this case, eliminate somebody like Kshama Sawant. Why? Think about it. Why would a massive corporation be spending so much money to try and get rid of somebody calling for rent control, social housing, universal health care, free education? Because people like that, they're very dangerous. I'm not comparing her to Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King back in his day, talking about economic justice, talking about jobs for everyone, that's dangerous to the capitalist order. We got to get rid of that person. Now, I'm not suggesting violence is coming her way, God forbid. But what I am saying is the capitalist order needs to eliminate all threats posed to it. And Kshama Sawant has been a thorn in Amazon, Microsoft, Boeing's nice little life that they have out there. And that life is owning the city of Seattle, pushing all the working people and poor people out. The homeless epidemic in Seattle, the majority of the homeless people there, black. And black people are a minority in Seattle, but they're the majority of people that are homeless in Seattle. So I say, we can't, everyone's focused, rightly so, on the presidential election, but we cannot take our eye off of these local elections. Because if people like Kshama Sawant get kicked out of office in Seattle, if people on the local level, progressives, get kicked out of office, then you really have no first line of defense against companies like Amazon. Bernie could do a lot as president, but he can't do it all. You need allies in the local level too. So I'm a journalist. I'm not going to, tell you what to do, but I would definitely suggest you go check out Kshama Sawant online. Check out her policies, support her however you want. But it's very, very important to make sure these progressives remain in office. And don't let Amazon win. Because if Amazon wins, we've been to Seattle. Ty and I went there a couple months ago. If Amazon wins in getting rid of the loudest voice against them, who knows what new, I'm trying not to get demonetized for this video, new effery they'll get into next with nobody there on the city council or in the mayor's level or in the governor's. Governor Jay Inslee, who had a great climate plan but has sat by as Amazon has just ran roughshod over the working people of Seattle and Washington State. So definitely stay. I will update you as that race continues to develop. So we thank you. We got Andrea left $10 in the GoFundMe. Anonymous $10. Alana $10. We're now just $399 away from $79,000. Oh, Jen was there too. Why did I forget that? Yes, you were there. I totally forgot that. Sorry about that. See, I'm not sleeping and I forgot a critical issue. Jen was there too. $399 to go. I really hope we could finish this GoFundMe today. Not today. I really hope we could get to $79,000 today. That would make me so happy. So happy. So, before I go today, I want to remind you folks, we just got another new member. Welcome, Kelly. We are now at 720 Status Quo members. We hope to see that number grow before Thursday. We have our Status Quo members call Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern time. Jen, myself, questions, comments, concerns. We laugh, we cry. It's a fun time. 7:30 Eastern Thursday. We will be talking to you. Usually it goes for an hour or two. So we will have a good time Thursday. If you join as a member before then, you will get the link for Zoom for our video call. And you should become a member anyway, because membership is how we grow. Our goal for the end of this year is a big one. We want to get to 1,000 members by the end of this year. It takes a village, folks, to actually be a consistent, aggressive, in-the-field reporting unit. And we are also working on a big story in the background that we hope to be able to talk to you about at some time in the near future. That's all I got for today. Thank you again for the super chats. Thank you for the GoFundMe. Keep it coming if you can. Her page has an updated policy section. Oh, is that Kshama's page? Interesting. And let me read a couple of your comments, questions, concerns before I go. That was a great video, Jordan. Thank you. Hey, super chats. WTF. Rob, did I miss your super chat? Hold on. Don't want to miss you, Rob. Casey Webb, $5. Jordan, you missed my last super chat. Bernie was left complete out of poll in Florida, and The Hill just posted is if as Warren and Biden only winning in Florida. I didn't see which poll you're talking about, so when I get off the live stream, I'll take a look at the Florida poll, and I'll report on it tomorrow, on the Florida poll. I would find it hard if they completely left Bernie out of the Florida poll, but I'll take your word for it, and I'll look after this live stream and report on it tomorrow if it says what you say it does. What other super chats did I miss? It only goes back up so much, so apologies. I'm getting so many chats in here, it's hard to keep up sometimes. Jen, did I miss one? Super chat you missed. Jordan, you missed Bernie was left off. I just read that one. Is HRC entering 2020? I did read that one. I hope to God she's not, because I can't take Hillary. I cannot take Hillary 3.0. I just don't have it in me. So I'm hoping she does not get in there. Thank you. Another $5 from Anonymous. $78,600 now in the GoFundMe. $78,606 in the GoFundMe. So let's, if we got one person with some pockets to get us, one person with some pockets to get us to 79,000. I would do a happy dance. Rob, if I missed your super chat, just put the comment in again and I'll read it. Rob R, it's about Hillary. I didn't miss that. You asked, did I hear about Hillary possibly getting back into the race? I did hear that. I don't think that's going to happen. The only way I think that would happen is if Joe Biden drops out. I don't think Joe Biden is going to drop out, but I do think his campaign is gradually going to implode. But never put it past Hillary Clinton's ego. I could see, I'm not ruling it out, but I think it's unlikely for her to get in. I really do. I think the only way you would see her get in is if Joe Biden drops out and Joe Biden is too stubborn and egomaniac to drop out for the good of the country. So, no, I don't think she's getting back in. What else? I don't think Hillary will join, but her ego could prove me wrong. Z-Fighter 117. Totally agree. Basically what I was just saying. Hardcore Status Quo fan, love you, Jordan. Thick boy. Christian, why thank you. I hope I'm not too thick. I pride myself on being physically fit. But if I'm thick, what are you going to do? Big people need love too. Bring it on. She lost to Trump. Black Monty Burns, us black Americans have no allies. You have an ally at Status Quo. You have an ally at Status Quo. A lot of the stories we cover disproportionately harm black, brown, and indigenous communities. So you definitely have an ally with us. But politically, you don't have a lot. Bernie, AOC, Rasheeda Tlaib. By the way, while I've been doing this live stream, an email went out. Bernie Sanders and Michigan Congresswoman Rasheeda Tlaib will hold a rally on Sunday in Detroit. So my belief is she will be announcing her endorsement for Bernie in Detroit. That is a key endorsement because I believe Bernie Sanders can win the Michigan primary just like he did in 2016. And I also believe Bernie Sanders could win back Michigan for the Democrats if he's if he wins the Democratic nomination. I don't think Hillary would take any of Bernie's voters, probably would Warren's. Yes, I agree. Hillary would take some of Warren's voters, not Bernie's, that's for sure. Kelly Elaine, Hillary equals DNC. Lol, Jen says, LOL, thick doesn't mean fat. It's what the young kids say as a compliment these days, which shows you I'm not one of the young kids anymore because I thought you were calling me fat. And I'm okay with that. My belly is a little bigger than it should be, frankly. My belly I could stand to use a couple pounds, to tell you the truth. So, I'll leave it at that. Rasheeda Tlaib hates America. SR, cut it out. She doesn't hate America. She loves America. Don't say that nonsense in my chat. Henry, thanks for your analysis, Jordan. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Kavi Stone, everybody is looking to get what they can get, and it won't work. I don't know what you're talking about, but everybody is not trying to get what they can get. Rashida Jones is awesome too. Oh boy. Big audience today too. Excited about that. Doobie brother, Jordan, stop reading posts from people with Bill Cosby avatars claiming to be black. Please, they're lying, digital blackface. Doobie, do you think I have time to look at avatars while I'm live? I don't know what your avatars are. I barely could read the comments. It's going so fast. But I'll try to quit that for you. Chris Wynn, willing to put $5 down. Bernie will win my state of Indiana if he's the nominee. We hate Pence here. I actually think that's probably a good shot. Indiana overall is a red state, but I think Bernie would put it in play. Half a ball. Jordan, exercise videos. If we get to $79,000 today, I will record a video of me doing my physical therapy exercises. Better yet, I'll stream it live. I will stream a video live of me exercising if we do $79,000 today. So if you want to make it happen, $79,000 first. That's my ransom. Keep it coming. GoFundMe. We're almost there. What else? Don't worry, Jordan, you're still hot. Well, thank you, Ava Barker. I appreciate that. Kind comment. I haven't been sleeping, so I don't feel so great. Larry Semerk, Thank you, Jordan, for your activism. Thank you. Don't forget to thank Jen. She's here too. You might not see her, but she's doing a lot for Status Quo too. Also, saw you macking hard on Jen at the Bernie rally on C-SPAN. I think that would be difficult since Jen wasn't there and I have a girlfriend. My girlfriend was there, so maybe that's who you saw me macking on? Just a thought. You guys are really trying to get me in trouble here. You know that? You know that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I asked in Super Chat if you think AOC will carry the legacy of Bernie Sanders. She already is. She already is carrying the legacy of Bernie Sanders. Absolutely. Really, really brave endorsement by AOC, showing the courage of her convictions, unlike Elizabeth Warren in 2016. All right, last few. Get Use Riot out of here, please. Okay. What else? We have a Warren troll. Hey, I look at the trolls. I invite your hatred. Just press the like button and donate to the GoFundMe. All right, folks, that's it. Got some stuff to do. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Remember, most people are not lacking compassion in this country. Most people have no idea, just no idea, what is happening all around them. I will leave you with this.
Brand new reaction coming in from Rudy Giuliani.
And right now, President Trump's former top advisor on Russia.
More breaking news tonight on Rudy Giuliani.
Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani is under criminal investigation.
President Trump is not going to cooperate.
The latest on impeachment.
Impeachment investigation.
President Trump.
President Trump, President Trump.
President Trump.
President Trump.
President Trump's
Educational issues with the children that have been poisoned. We're at one of the encampments that homeless people are living at.
It's really discouraging to notice these similarities where you have the administration going, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your water. But here, take these filters.
Are you on Social Security?
I am, but I work a full-time business.
No, I know, but you're aware Social Security is a socialist program.
Well, that's beside the point.